Keller Dover, consumed by the anguish of searching for his missing daughter, receives the devastating news that the prime suspect in her abduction has been released. In a fit of desperation, he rushes to confront the suspect.
I want to talk. You're a free man. I'm a free man. So tell me what you did with him.
Speaking in a measured tone that belies his inner turmoil.
Until I left him.
However, this calm facade only fuels Keller's rage, driving him to take drastic action by kidnapping the suspect in a desperate attempt to extract answers about his daughter's whereabouts.
You know what I'm gonna use this. Fine. Tell me! Where's my daughter?
Let's explore the origins of this harrowing tale. The narrative begins with Keller Dover and his son, Ralph, returning from a hunting trip. During their drive, Keller emphasizes to Ralph the critical importance of being prepared for unexpected challenges. Later that day, Keller's wife, Grace, prepares to leave home with her daughter, Anna. As they approach their neighbors, Nancy Birch greets them warmly.
Kelly, you got the deal you shot? Thank you.
Meanwhile, Franklin Birch engages playfully with Anna and his own daughter, Joy. As the families gather to celebrate Thanksgiving dinner, Anna expresses her desire to play outside with Joy. Keller encourages Anna to invite Ralph to join them, and they venture out together. Outside, Anna and Joy become intrigued by an RV parked nearby, but Ralph and Eliza quickly intervene to redirect their attention. After dinner, Anna and Joy approach the adults with a request. They want to go back to the Dovers' house to search for a whistle, Anna misplaced. With permission granted, the two girls dash off. As time passes, Keller grows concerned about Anna and Joy's whereabouts. He heads to the Dovers' house in search of the girls but finds no sign of them. Returning to the Birches, he reveals that Anna and Joy are missing. Ralph suddenly recalls the RV they had seen earlier and leads Keller to where it had been parked, only to discover that it is now gone. In desperation, Keller decides to call the police. Meanwhile, Detective Loki is sitting alone in a cafe when he receives a call regarding the suspicious RV. He quickly locates it and begins his investigation. Just then, the RV unexpectedly accelerates before crashing. Upon entering the vehicle, Loki finds Alex Jones hidden in the back. He brings Alex outside in hopes of finding the missing girls, but Alex remains unresponsive. Consequently, Alex is arrested. Loki intensifies his interrogation of Alex, who steadfastly denies all accusations against him. Later that evening, Loki pays a visit to Alex's aunt, Mrs. Holly, at her home where Alex occasionally stays. There, he learns that the RV yielded no evidence linking Alex to the case, prompting him to dispatch another police team back to Aunt Holly's residence for further investigation. The following day, Loki arrives at the Dover household, where Grace expresses her concerns that people might label her and Keller as insane if the girls emerge from hiding unharmed. She notes that Loki's commander has boasted about solving every case he's tackled so far, leaving her wondering about the outcome of their own desperate situation. As Keller vows to find Anna and Joy, he is abruptly interrupted by Loki. When Loki informs Keller that there is no evidence against Alex, Keller's disbelief begins to surface. Confused and frustrated, he questions how such a situation could be possible. Despite Loki's attempts to reassure him, Keller's agitation grows. Loki promises that the police are exploring every avenue and that he will fulfill his responsibilities diligently. As Loki prepares to leave, Keller implores him to keep Alex in custody until the girls are found. Loki explains that unless formal charges are filed, they will have no choice but to release Alex soon. Throughout the day and into the night, Loki makes multiple trips, ultimately arriving at Father Patrick Dunn's home. Upon entering, he finds Father Patrick unconscious and begins to investigate the premises. His search leads him to a concealed basement where he discovers unsettling statues and, chillingly, a body chained to a chair. After rousing Father Patrick, Loki presses him for details about the grim discovery. The next day, the search party resumes its efforts, and Grace contacts Keller with the distressing news of Alex's release. As Alex steps out into the world, a throng of reporters surrounds him. In a moment of raw emotion, Keller confronts Alex, demanding answers and unleashing a punch. Alex responds by revealing that the girls only began to cry after he left them, prompting the police to pull Keller away. Captain Richard informs Keller that while they overlooked the assault, he must return home. Keller insists on having Alex detained once more, but Captain Richard advises him to share this new information with Loki instead. Later, Loki visits Alex and Holly, probing whether Alex has disclosed anything to Keller. He challenges Alex on his willingness to let Holly face jail time if he is withholding the truth. Afterward, Loki calls Keller to inform him that he is no longer considering Alex as a suspect. In a state of urgency, Keller rushes back to comfort Grace, who is consumed by her longing for Anna's safe return. She implores Keller to bring their daughter home, and in response, Keller administers medication to help soothe her anxiety. He then hands Ralph some tablets with instructions to look after Grace while he goes out to assist the police in their search efforts. Keller stands vigil outside Holly's house, waiting in the shadows until night falls. With a sense of purpose, he retrieves a weapon and approaches Alex as he walks his dog. Confronting him, Keller demands to know the origin of the Christmas jingle Alex was singing, brandishing the pistol as a menacing reminder of the stakes. The following day, Keller transports Franklin to his old home, where they take Alex captive. Franklin, visibly shaken, suggests they should turn Alex over to the police, but Keller insists that they must force him to talk or risk losing their daughters forever. Keller confronts Alex, offering him one last chance to confess. The tension escalates as a loud thud echoes through the air, with Keller demanding that Alex divulge everything he knows. Meanwhile, Loki is back at the station, delving into the troubling pattern of older children's disappearances. He follows a lead to Mrs. Millen, whose child was abducted 26 years ago, noted that the first sighting of Alex's RV occurred not far from her home. Later that evening, Keller begins to interrogate Alex, who bears serious injuries but remains tight-lipped. Despite Alex's silence, Keller is convinced he possesses crucial information. He escalates his threats, yet Alex continues to resist.
You gonna make me use this? Fine. Tell me. Tell me! Where's my daughter?
Meanwhile, Franklin attends a vigil for the missing girls, offering solace to his grieving family. Nearby, Loki observes Brad Taylor, placing a teddy bear among the candles and instinctively pursuing him as he flees. The chase leads Loki to a house where Brad unexpectedly attacks him, causing Loki to lose track of him amidst the chaos of a busy road. The next day, Franklin and Nancy see Brad featured on the news as a new suspect but decide to join Keller in questioning Alex again. Keller is resolute in his belief that Alex and Brad are connected and determined to uncover the truth. Despite his own distress, Franklin remains steadfast. Concurrently, Loki informs Captain Richard that Alex has been missing since his dog walk a few nights prior and demands to know why he wasn't under surveillance. Frustrated, he replays his interrogation of Alex in hopes of finding overlooked clues. He then receives a call and heads to a shopping mall to meet with a witness regarding Brad's case. Back at the abandoned house, Keller warns Franklin that time is slipping away, heightening the urgency of their desperate situation. Nancy, concerned for her family's safety, presses Franklin about his recent travels upon his return home, compelling him to reveal truths he had kept hidden. Shortly thereafter, she confronts Keller regarding Alex's kidnapping, insisting that they must meet him. Reluctantly, Keller agrees to facilitate this meeting. In a desperate plea, Nancy implores Alex to assist her in locating her daughter, but when she unties him, Alex responds with violence and escapes.
Nancy! You untied him?
Keller then reveals to Franklin and Nancy his unorthodox approach to extracting information from Alex. Franklin challenges Keller's ambiguous stance on Alex's culpability, asserting that clarity is essential in their search for answers. In response, Keller simply hands Franklin a hammer and walks away. However, Nancy intervenes, preventing Franklin from using the tool, and together, they leave the scene. Meanwhile, Brad stealthily enters their house and awakens Grace. Mistaking him for Anna, Grace is momentarily confused before Brad makes his escape once more. Ralph rushes in to comfort her, and she recounts the unsettling encounter to Loki. The following day, Loki tracks Keller across town, ultimately arriving at the abandoned house where Keller is hiding. Upon noticing Loki's presence, Keller confronts him. He approaches his car and questions him about his destination. Keller fabricates a story about running an errand at the store. Loki, however, is not fooled. He knows that Keller has not been cooperating with the police, as Grace had informed him. He reveals that Alex is currently missing, to which Keller defiantly claims that Alex must have fled town due to his guilt. Frustrated and anxious about his daughter's safety, Keller orders Loki to focus on finding her instead of tailing him. After returning home, Keller falls into a troubled sleep where he hallucinates Anna by his side. He desperately asks her who harmed her but awakens before she can respond. Driven by anguish and desperation, Keller returns to Alex and inflicts severe pain upon him in hopes of extracting any new information. At the same time, Loki approaches the house, prompting Keller to hide quickly. As Loki investigates the premises, he discovers Keller lying on the floor and begins to search the area. After a brief tour of the house led by Keller, Loki receives a call regarding Brad and leaves, inadvertently leaving Keller alone. Later, Loki finds Brad at his home and demands to know why he fled. When Brad attempts to escape again, Loki apprehends him. Loki conducts a thorough search of the residence and requests additional support. During his investigation, he breaks into a room and stumbles upon a disturbing collection of clothing. As he opens a package, he is horrified to find venomous snakes laying on bloodied garments, an unsettling discovery that raises more questions than answers. He methodically repeats the process with the remaining snakes, yielding the same unsettling result each time. In the last crate, he stumbles upon a book of mazes, which he hastily grabs before making his exit. Later, Loki delivers grim news to Keller. No bodies have been found, but the searchers have identified some clothing belonging to Joy among the crates. Overwhelmed with grief, Keller breaks down upon recognizing one of Anna's socks. In his anguish, he lashes out at Loki, blaming him for wasting precious time and failing to rescue his daughter. Back at home, news reporters swarm Keller, but he implores Ralph not to engage with them. Ralph responds that Eliza has assured him the girls are no longer alive, a statement that sends Keller into a frenzy of denial as he insists it cannot be true and warns Ralph not to share this with Grace. Ralph accuses Keller of abandoning their family, igniting a heated exchange between them. Meanwhile, Loki observes Brad as he studies the mazes that were discovered. When Loki enters the room and inquires about what Brad is drawing, Brad's silence prompts Loki to strike him in frustration. During the ensuing struggle, Brad seizes a weapon and vows not to disclose anything to the investigators. In a moment of desperation, Keller returns to the abandoned house and prays for forgiveness before confronting Alex. Feeling lost yet resolute that Alex holds vital information, Keller presses him for answers. Alex cryptically claims he can find the missing girls within the maze. He then seeks out Alex's aunt to offer an apology. Meanwhile, Captain Richard attempts to console Loki over the case's lack of resolution. Frustration mounts within Loki as he breaks down emotionally. In his despair, he discovers a drawing reminiscent of Brad's maze and receives an urgent phone call. When he visits Brad's home, he uncovers that much of the evidence is fabricated and that the mazes are mere replicas. Determined to find a connection, Loki questions how Brad could possess clothing belonging to Anna and Joy. Returning to the Dover's house, Loki finds evidence indicating that Brad had stolen Anna's socks from there. Just then, Grace receives a call, and when Keller approaches their home, she rushes out with startling news: Joy has been found, but Anna remains missing. They quickly head to the hospital to meet with Franklin and Nancy, clinging to hope amidst their heartache. Joy resists Keller's attempts to question her, haunted by the traumatic events that led to her rescue. She confirms that Keller was indeed present at the scene of their abduction. Which only deepens his sense of guilt and urgency. In a fit of desperation, Keller speeds away down the street, with Loki hot on his trail, leading him to the abandoned house where he overhears Alex's anguished cries. Keller then arrives at Holly's house, offering to help repair it as a gesture of remorse for his perceived failures. However, once inside, he makes a chilling claim: he knows the girls are hidden within Holly's home. In response, Holly brandishes a weapon at him, trapping him in a nightmarish situation. She shackles him and insists he take a sedative so he can see his daughter. When Keller receives a phone call, she orders him to dispose of it and reveals her dark past, admitting his kidnapping numerous children alongside her deceased husband. Holly forces Keller into a car, describing the kidnappings as a twisted war designed to transform innocent people into monsters, much like she believes Keller has become. She further reveals that Alex did not harm Anna or Joy. Instead, she chose to abduct them for her own reasons. Holly then leads Keller to a deep hole in the ground, injures him, and forces him inside, leaving him badly hurt. She chillingly claims that she will reconnect him with his daughter from within the depths of the hole before sealing it shut. Meanwhile, the police urge Loki to inform Holly about Alex's whereabouts. Back in the darkness of the hole, Keller desperately searches for Anna's whistle, clinging to hope. Just then, Loki arrives at Holly's home and knocks on the door, while Holly moves to conceal Anna from view. As Loki enters, he senses movement inside the house and rushes in just as Holly prepares to inject Anna. A violent struggle ensues. Holly attacks Loki, but he fights back before fleeing to prevent her from harming Anna. Despite his serious injuries, Loki races down the highway seeking help and reaches the emergency department.
Hey! Help! Help! Help!
Meanwhile, it becomes clear that Keller remains unaccounted for, trapped in the hole. As Loki recovers from his wounds, She expresses her concern that Keller hasn't reached out and asks Loki if he will find him. Grace shares her feelings of missing Keller and acknowledges that he did what was necessary to try and save Anna. Back at Holly's house, Loki watches as excavators leave the scene but is suddenly startled by the sound of Keller's whistle echoing from the depths of the hole. The screen fades to black, leaving viewers in suspense about Keller's fate. Thanks for watching. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe for more of these recaps. Until next time. Have a nice day.